This may well have been probably my greatest theatrical experience of all times, at least one of the greatest theatrical experiences of all times. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, please smash that subscribe button now. And today the film that we are going to be talking about is the new Malayalam film, the much awaited Malayalam film called Aadujeevitham, which is starring Prithviraj Sukumaran. Now, I know I'd got many requests on my channel for this film that you wanted me to review, and quite honestly, this was one Malayalam film even I was looking forward to watching on the big screen. Now, I hadn't watched its trailer and did not know anything about the film. I just went into the film blind, and boy, did I come out thinking, oh my god, I may have just witnessed one of the greatest theatrical extravaganzas, at least of recent times, if not overall speaking, and stick around to find out what are my detailed thoughts on that. But if you're still new to this channel, smash that subscribe button, share this video, press the like button, comment on the film, what was your experience, and do anything that helps a small creator like me. So let's get started with the review of Aadujeevitham. So coming to the story and screenplay, Aadujeevitham, based on a true incident which is also based on a novel by the same name, essentially follows the story of a protagonist who visits a Gulf country for greener pastures, but instead finds himself enslaved by a cruel Arab who would stop at nothing and would show absolutely no solace at all. Now, the story here is perhaps one of the greatest survival dramas that I may have watched, and I have watched quite a few of them. This might just be right up there, and it just shows in the writing that is there. The film actually took 16 years to be made, and it actually reflects in that the amount of effort and dedication that is there, right from the writing to the framing to the performances to the detailing. Everything is pitch perfect in this film. Oh boy, this was one of the most beautiful films that I have watched. You can actually feel the dedication that is there in this crew, and I also got to know that while shooting and filming for this film, the entire crew was stranded in the deserts of Jordan during the COVID time, only to resume later on after returning back. So all it has gone through a fair share of hardships, even the entire crew, and I'm just speechless with the amount of dedication that this film has shown, that reflects in the screenplay, which is nearly 3 hours, but it actually passes off like a breeze. And it accounted, once again repeating myself, accounted for one of the most greatest theatrical experiences that I have ever witnessed, one of the greatest for sure. So the drama here, it opens with a shot of the night sky, and you can see the Milky Way whose reflection is reflected in the water, and that water is splashed on a haggard looking protagonist, and that is what sets the tone of the drama to follow. Now the drama here cuts to a past timeline when a protagonist, a healthy looking protagonist, just strolls out of the airport with his friend in order to search for his pickup in a company that has hired him for a job to do. Instead, he's abducted, and that's where things go south for him. Now, there is something about the writing in Malayalam films. They do not reveal all their cards at one go, and here too, there are some cards that are kept very close to the chest, which are revealed in the form of a flashback. So you initially had no idea of who the protagonist is, where is he from, why is he in a Gulf country, but still, they are revealed in bits and pieces through flashes, you can see. So flashes of a flashback that is there, which also includes a little bit of a love story that doesn't interfere with the core concept of the film. Now the film here, the proceedings here are highly engaging, and I was thoroughly invested in the journey of the protagonist, who seemed to be in the middle of a situation where there was absolutely no hope. Here, even the desert, the landscape plays a very important character that provides absolutely no hope and no remorse at all with respect to the conditions that the protagonist is kept in without water, without bathing, just having to do his job quietly without any pay. In short, it was slavery at its absolute worst, and that is what got me into the film. And all the protagonist had was the company of a man who suddenly later disappears, and the animals. So the bond that he shares is only with the animals, essentially, that feature goats and camels. Those are it. And the conditions, that the atrocities that he has to face in this challenging setup that is there, without even being able to inform his home, is what forms the core subject of the film. Now, the film here, in its second hour, gets a little, how should I put it, a little rushed, a little abrupt, a little too convenient, I would think, in a very minor portion post the interval, I would say, very minor portion. This also includes, his friend meeting him after a very long time, to also a scene involving the protagonist feeding the animals for the last time, to showcase the bond, although the bond was not clearly established, I would say. There was, but it wasn't done enough to feel anything. But all of that evaporates soon in that incredible second half. I mean, this has to be one of the greatest second halves that I have watched in a very, very, very long time. And I remember criticizing the film Donkey in my written review on my site, Popcorn Reviews, which did not stay true to the title, I would say. And some of them, some of my viewers, my readers, did come back to me saying that, this wasn't entirely right. But you have to have a perspective, and this is the perspective. Aadujeevitham is exactly what Donkey could have been in a different setup, and the setup could have been only of the landscape in a different story. But it could have been exactly that. Here, the atrocities that the challenge that was posed to the protagonist and some of the other characters as they made their way across the desert would go down as one of the most painstakingly brilliant pieces of cinema that I was witness to. I'm absolutely convinced this was one hell of a ride that was there, and this can only be accentuated in a wonderful theatrical experience. I think this is what we live for as a theatrical going audience. This was an event film that was beautiful on the big screen in every sense of the word. You, right from the atrocities being of quenching your thirst, to forming blisters in your leg, to having a physical condition of not mentally being there but still making your way through kilometers and kilometers of sand in the desert. I think it accounted for one of the finest theatrical experiences that I have been witness to, and I am so thankful, so grateful to have witnessed this on the big screen. Anything that I say would be lesser than what was witnessed on screen. So, in other words, the screenplay was brilliant here. I also would like to touch upon the fact that the writing did not dwell too much into the politics of the drama. It was a focused journey, it was a personal journey, and that is what scored in the writing department as well, in an overall screenplay that was very well written, albeit a few flaws, but very well written otherwise. Coming to the technical aspects like the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I felt this isn't a dialogue heavy film, which also means that this can be watched in other dubbed languages and it will still have a universal appeal to it. Same or similar kind of an experience to what the original version is. Although I did watch the original Malayalam version with English subtitles, and it was wonderful. The lines here spreading across different languages, from Arabic to Hindi to English to Malayalam, definitely add authenticity to the drama. It was absolutely wonderful to witness here the lines that were there. The music by the great A.R. Rahman is absolutely brilliant. The score, the songs absolutely are well integrated with the screenplay of the film, and also the BGM is rousing and it almost makes you like a bystander, almost allowing you to feel the pain of the protagonists that are there in the film. The cinematography is wonderful, capturing the beautiful landscape with some wonderful white shots, which also in a way is a representation of the challenge that the protagonist has to go through, of distance, the kilometers and kilometers of sand that needs to be crossed while going across the desert. I think that is something that was beautifully showcased in some wonderful frames by the cinematographer. The editing is outstanding as well. It is almost like a masterclass in editing. The transition shots are absolutely beautifully transitioned, you know, by the editor that are there. In a scene, you see Prithviraj lying on sand with a little bit of water which is overflowing from a tanker around him, which slowly transitions into the greener, lush green landscapes of Kerala, his hometown. Which goes into a flashback, and after that it again transcends back into the sand. And I think those were perfectly transition shots by the editing standards that were there. Outstanding. I think the technical department and the writing here made sure this was almost like an international film that I was watching. Director Blessy, I think, needs to be saluted for the amount of dedication that he brought to this film. Anything that I say is lesser than the piece of direction that he's shown. His perseverance reflects in this world building, which was nothing short of perfect. Even the character of the protagonist that was developed was outstanding. I mean, anything that I say, as I said, is lesser than the wonderful, marvelous piece of direction that I have witnessed. The direction was outstanding to the core. The performances are good as well. I think Talib, Jimmy, Gokul, all of them do a good job. Amla Paul has a sweet presence in a little role, does well too, but this is an out and out Prithviraj Sukumaran show in what is a performance of a lifetime. It won't be wrong to say that this is GOAT of all performances that you may have watched, and you can see the amount of sweat and blood that he has brought into his character. It was outstanding to the core. You know, you saw him being a little healthy to a point where when he takes off his clothes to bathe for the first time, and that is where you see his entire body, which is reduced to literally bones with very little flesh on it. And kudos also to the censor board for, you know, passing that scene off with a US certificate. I think that's a good start as well. But coming to Prithviraj, I think the man deserves a national award for this performance. It was an incredible performance of the highest order. Again, anything that I say will not do justice to what a towering acting masterclass Prithviraj is, almost surrendering to the vision of the director, and you know, doing a wonderful job in the acting department. Outstanding job, outstanding job. So overall, I feel that Aadujeevitham is perhaps one of the greatest survival stories ever told, with GOAT performances, greatest of all time performances, that I would say this film deserves the big screen experience. It is something I had not previously experienced, and I have watched many films in my lifetime. I almost visit the cinema hall every week to visit it, and if I am saying it, you need to take my word for it. Anything that I say is lesser than the film, and this also may be an early contender for India's official submission to the Academy Awards next year. Let's hope so. I don't know, but this is my prediction. But this film is absolutely an experience of a lifetime on the big screen. Do not miss this for anything that is there. I'm just grateful, and I'm getting a little emotional, but I'm grateful to have watched this film on the big screen. I'm so privileged and so grateful for this live also to have witnessed this on the big screen. So if you've liked this video, please smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts on this wonderful film, Aadujeevitham, The Goat Life. I'm sure I would love to have a discussion with you on this also. If you're new, as I said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, share this video with your friends and family. Also, do anything that, you know, would help a small creator like me. If you'd like to read my detailed review of Aadujeevitham on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below, do visit that as well. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, and on my social media handles. Also, if there are recommendations, do throw me some in the comment section. Thank you so much for recommending me this film also, and I'm just I'm just emotional at the moment. Thank you so much for your love and support, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Until then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.